What? Let me get everybody in here and get everything set up. We'll go.
I didn't watch a whole lot yesterday. Watched Florida can't get out of their own way, which is
hilarious.
Kind of weird. It's hilarious. I don't even know how to talk about it. And I was surprised at Illinois not being able to do anything. It's just so hard to know what's really going on in the Big Ten. I mean, it's just hard to trust if they're really that good or not, because you just never know. So is Indiana unbelievably good? Illinois unbelievably terrible? Who knows? I thought we looked great. Joey just continues to impress. That's my biggest thing. And our receivers, our running backs, I'm sorry, Thomas is, I've been saying it since I saw him run the first time. He is the best runner we have. And he would have Dylan Sampson's numbers if it was just him. There's no doubt in my
mind. Yeah. My takeaway.
Hey, Rusty.
Yo.
Hey, no volume at all on YouTube. I can't even hear you.
Yeah, YouTube was muted. I fixed it.
All right, I'll go back and check it again.
I was listening on YouTube. I can hear you, Rusty, but
can you hear? Yeah, I it's really, I know you can hear me. I'm more wondering, can everybody else be heard through the link?
I'll go back and check. I'll be back.
Thanks, JMO. So
and I wanted to add, it was fun seeing Clemson get beat by Syracuse yesterday.
You can't go back and give your stuff after you've already given yours, Josh. It's not okay. I'm just playing.
Apologies.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
No, that's where
having a meltdown is about as good as Florida having a meltdown. I mean, it's just fabulous.
I was going to start with my take from yesterday was Clemson has some issues, clearly. I think partially they've quit. I think partially we're giving them more credit than they probably deserved. Klubnik has been a very, very good quarterback when they can really run it down your throats, and then he can pass off of that. He's probably not played a game where he threw the ball well, where it was he had to be a pass first guy. And they just can't run the ball this year. Syracuse is better than we all thought. Terrible seeing what happened to Angeli. I think that kid was really playing football well. But I think they'll get if that Syracuse coach staff's proved anything, they will get their quarterback and their offense going sooner than later. That staff with Brown and his OC, either the OC is going to be getting a head coaching job somewhere else, maybe not a Power 4 job, or him and Brown are going to be going to a bigger Power 4 job, or they're going to absolutely kill it at Syracuse because they can coach football and they can play football, and they rebuilding like they are is really impressive how quickly they've gelled. Oklahoma and Auburn. I kind of have the same thing on, like Jana was saying about the Big Ten. We don't know. Honestly, we don't even know how good Georgia and Tennessee either one are. That looked like two extremely high-level football teams playing last week, but, I mean, there's always the scenario where there is the possibility that it wasn't two elite teams. It was two very good teams, and there's only maybe one elite team. And we just don't know. We're 4 weeks in. With the turnover in the portal and all the changes that are going on, I don't think you're going to know much about what really is real until maybe when the playoffs start. Like, none of us last year thought Ohio State was what they are in the playoffs, and they clearly had a gear that nobody else had. Nobody had anything close to them, but we didn't know it. And I think it – I mean, maybe we get a clear picture by week 9, and maybe we all cannibalize each other. Maybe the Big Ten cannibalizes each other. Maybe the SEC cannibalizes each other. And we're still kind of all saying, well, I think these are the 12 teams that deserve to get in the playoffs, and I have no idea if this is the right 12 teams and if one of those 12 is an elite football team. So we got a long way to go to figure stuff out.
Hey, Rusty, you're good on YouTube now.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, on the Oklahoma-Auburn thing real quick.
Yo.
One thing that I've learned watching that game, Jackson Arnold still sucks. He held onto the football way too long yesterday on a lot of those dropbacks. I mean, I get Oklahoma's defense looks like they're pretty good. They had 10 sacks. Well, a lot of those 10 sacks was him just holding on to the football and not getting rid of it.
Yeah, I agree. Auburn's got good weapons, no doubt about it.
He overthrew 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
He had 2 guys wide. I mean, that's 14 more points. So
yeah.
I don't think he's very. I mean, he's a good runner. I just don't think he's very good at playing the quarterback position.
Yeah, he's okay. He's an okay quarterback. He's not a difference maker quarterback, which 5 stars are supposed to be. But hey, we've all seen that 5-star quarterbacks don't necessarily pan out in this day and age. And it's not just what's happening in Knoxville, what's happening everywhere. 5 stars aren't panning out. It's odd. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he's slightly above average. And I don't think that's an insult. And I think Mateer showed that he's not especially great either. Because I don't think that Oklahoma or that Auburn defense is anything like elite. I think it's good. I don't think it's not crazy good. And I thought they had to resort to a bougie gimmick cheesy play to get in the end zone, which I heard the SEC came out and said that play broke player hiding rules. I don't think it did. I don't think there's anything they did that should be illegal. I think it's weak. If that's how you have to get in the end zone at home against an unranked team, or maybe Auburn was ranked. I don't even know.
I feel like if Jackson Arnold is not using his legs, they're definitely beatable, even who the opponent is in the SEC.
Well, I think it's beyond that. I think, I'll be honest, I thought Oklahoma got away with one. I mean, they should have lost that game.
Obviously.
They got 14 points to their favor with the missed call on the sideline with the guy running the end zone, and then also the fumble recovery. That is absolutely, they are very beatable. They're more beatable than I expected, to be honest.
Joshy, wait, hold on a second. I want to clarify one thing. Joshy, were you talking about John Mateer or were you talking about Arnold? Because you said Arnold.
No, I said if Arnold is not using his legs, they're definitely beatable. Like J-Mo said, he sucks at passing the ball.
Oh yeah, I think Auburn's extreme. I think Auburn's pretty average. Now here's the thing.
Oklahoma without Mateer using his legs, to your point, Joshy, is very limited.
Oh, yeah. That's that. Yeah, offensively they can't run the ball. They can't run the ball.
On their team that can advance the ball down the field with his legs.
That's it. Yeah, they can't run the ball.
They cannot run the football.
Yeah, they can't run the ball unless it's Mateer running the ball. That's their running game is him. It's weird.
And another thing that I learned about Oklahoma yesterday, going back to what I said a few minutes ago, their secondary is acceptable to some deep passes.
Yeah,
they let some guys run wide open on them deep, and like I said, Arnold just couldn't connect. I mean, I thought Auburn played well enough to win the game. I mean,
they should have won.
The substitution thing was, I mean, that was BS. And then, I mean, like I said, they had a couple of guys wide open that should have been touchdowns that Arnold just completely overthrew. And they should have scored 21, 24, somewhere in that range, and that should have been enough to win.
Can we?
Jackson Arnold looked a whole lot like Nico Iamaleava yesterday.
Can we talk about a couple of things real quick? One is, what is number 8's name for Auburn? I know him and Jared.
Coleman.
Sorry, say that again.
Receiver or the guy on defense?
No, the receiver, Cam. What is it?
Cam Coleman.
Coleman, thank you. I mean, it was him and Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams and then Matthews in that class. I mean, I don't know why I always want to call him Cunningham, but I know that's.
I hate it for him because he's absolutely legit, and his quarterback can't play quarterback standing still, if you know what I mean. Like, I hate it for him.
No. Well, that's where I was going. I mean, Auburn has him and a couple other dudes that can actually play at receiver, but with him, if you have him singled up and you're Jackson Arnold, just throw it anywhere in his vicinity and don't overthrow him, and you pretty much can move the football. And they had that a ton yesterday.
All we got to do is tackle him while the ball's at its apex, and he's jumping up to go get it, and you'll be fine.
Right. And hey, but you got to give the refs credit. Auburn was able to get the first down on fourth down, and then that
other play call, but it was 2 PIs, Rusty. You can't say that you gave him one. The dude pulled his damn shoulder off.
Okay, so
I thought that ball was I thought the ball was uncatchable. The one that they actually called.
It certainly was when the guy's shoulder pad was on the 1 yard line,
Right.
and the rest of him was in the end zone.
All right, so guys, let me kind of like run the show, please, and I'll kind of steer us in a direction so we don't go crazy. So yeah. I think Auburn's gettable, or not gettable. I think Auburn's average, and I think Alabama or Oklahoma is very, very, very beatable. I think you guys are right on that. Auburn has weapons, and Jackson Arnold, like you guys said, is going to overthrow them. I think Oklahoma's got their issues because they can't run the ball. And now let's talk about the play.
Hold on. Before that, Rusty, can we just go ahead and name all the average teams that we thought were good coming into yesterday? Let's go with Miami. They're trash. They're not very good at all. I think they're highly overrated. I think Illinois might be the worst top 10 team I've ever seen in the history of college football. And what really sucks, did you see my tweet about that, Rusty? Indiana's going to get an air quotes huge, super positive, mega elite win for that. I'm not sure Illinois is a top 25 football team.
Of course. Well, here's the thing. Will it be how is the committee going to perceive that win if in week 9 Illinois has 4 losses? That's what you got to look at. Because I think the committee isn't, the coaches poll or the AP poll has always been, we go off on where was the team ranked when you beat them. I think the committee is going to go off of who are you when we give our final. Who did you beat? Who are the teams that you beat, and what are those teams? Not where they were ranked whenever we were early in the season, but where.
That's true, though, Rusty. I worry for us too.
Why?
I'm sorry. Did you say why?
Yeah, why?
Because at the end of the season, we'll have 2 ranked teams on our schedule.
Or
Alabama will be ranked.
Or we might.
Oklahoma will be ranked.
Or we might have 5 by then. Georgia might be ranked. Mississippi State might be.
I'm doubtful of that.
Mississippi State might be 8-4. Oklahoma might be 8-4. Bama's 8-4, 7-5. Vanderbilt's 7-5. There may be a bunch of like.
I think Vandy might actually win a bunch of games.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the point is,
to be fair, you might be right here with that because I wasn't counting Vandy.
Yeah, Bama, Oklahoma, Georgia, Vandy, Mississippi State, all could be in that 8-4, somewhere ranked between 18 and 25 range.
And we could be too, for the record.
And I'll tell you what else. I don't know that the committee deems your strength of schedule, which is what they're concerned with. I don't think the committee's super locked in to the top 25 wins. I think they're locked into, was this a good team you beat? Like the arbitrary number of a top 25 versus a top 32 is a dumb metric. Do we think there's any difference between the 25th team and the 27th, or in the 27th team or the 38th team? I agree
with you on this.
So I think the committee isn't going to be looking at the thing with the way the AP poll is. But back, I think Miami's really good.
BCS ranking system. What do you think about that? Sincerely, using Sagrins and all that stuff to actually generate a number so we can track that.
It's 100% the way we should not be. We should have. What they should do is the same way it used to be. AP poll, coaches poll get factored in. All the computer polls get factored in, and then there used to the BCS had their like the BCS poll or their BCS whatever. A bunch of guys that like Terry Bradshaw was on it for whatever reason, and some other people, they voted on their poll and it got put into the formula too. Have the committee still put out a poll starting week 8, 9, 10, whenever they start theirs. And they vote on it every week. And at the end, and it gives us the updated BCS rankings. And we rank the 12 teams in order based on that computer ranking with the AP poll, coaches poll, a committee poll, and then all the computers average those all together, and give us the list. That's the way to do it. But trying to kind of like stay in the right place. By the way, I'm watching Arsenal and City, so every now and then I get distracted. Average teams, great teams. I think Miami's really good. I think USC's pretty dang good.
Can I ask a question then? Do you think we're really good? Because I think we're as good as Miami. We're not as good as them on defense, but we are superior to them on offense.
Yeah, I think we're really good too, but I also think we may be average, and I think Miami may be average. Here's my question. Based off of what you brought up with teams, we've always watched college football through the lens of we think this team is great, elite, deserving to be ranked as the national champion. But that's not really how football is. Are we headed to where we're going to like ever change our opinion to where we look at things the way the NFL does, where the New England Patriots could be in the middle of back-to-back Super Bowls, but they've just won one. They're about to win another one if we can look into the future. But week one of that season, in between those two Super Bowl trophy lifts, they lost 31-0 with all their compliments. So are we going to understand ever that this is a sport where it's not teams aren't average because we watch them play one game, or they're not elite because we watch them play one game? It's really you're going to have good days and bad days as a football team and be peaking at the end of the year, that type of thing. Because we've never looked at college football that way before.
To your point,
I'm trying to look at – oh, go ahead, Jordan.
I was just going to say, to his point, we need to kind of shift our mindset with college football into thinking more of it as an NFL model, because we don't have Nick Saban's retired. Like, Georgia is talented and they're good, but they're not as dominant as they were 2 to 3 years ago.
Heck no.
We don't have a flat out just machine.
I do think Georgia is still the best team I've seen, them or Ohio State.
I think they can be, yes. I'm still not 100% sold on Gunnar Stockton long term this season.
Yeah.
Just because.
Here's the thing about Stockton, Jordan. I think you're right. J-Mo, somebody's going to come out and give him looks, and he's going to be confused and have a bad day.
Yeah, somebody's going to watch Tennessee's tape. I was running zone with our very average defense against him.
Yep.
And shutting him down completely. And they're actually going to go, oh, that's what we do. Okay.
That's all you got. All you got to do is not play zero man against him or cover one man. That's cover one is man, but all you got to do is play cover zero or not play cover zero or cover one, and he'll be confused. Now the question is, by the time that team plays him that way, will he have seen enough playing time to where he's able to start seeing the field better when teams drop into coverage and zones and rush 3, rush 4, and don't just.
And he's a one and gun. I think he's one look and then start running. Well,
a ton of quarterbacks are that when they've got 5 starts. What's he going to be after he's had 8 starts? And does a defense get there before then? But back to Jordan. Go back to your point of Georgia's a very good team and very talented, but the days of there's superiority at the top probably are not going to be very frequent. Because like somebody brought up Ohio State. That Ohio State was outgained by 100 yards at home to that average Texas team.
Average.
Sorry, that Texas team's elite, talented all around, but they're playing like an average team. Guess what? That Texas team could figure it out if they get in the playoffs and look like Ohio State did last year in the playoffs.
That is true.
Because
they could continue to ride,
or they may never figure it out and miss out on the playoffs. But we're in a stage of college football where we're so accustomed to Nebraska is the juggernaut football team. Penn State is the juggernaut football team. Miami is the juggernaut football team. We're so used to that environment we lived in because we used to decide things with the polls decided the national champion. And then it was just 2 teams made the national champion or made the BCS. Now we're in a situation where it's so much shifting in personnel, and the way we decide a champion is more about, yeah, you can be average a lot, but can you peak at the right time? And do you have the ability to peak at the highest level? Oregon looked like the best team in the country all year last year. They were down 35-0 in the Rose Bowl.
Yep, I agree. I'm just looking across the landscape of college football. There was some elite air quotes teams that played pretty bad yesterday. That LSU's best win is Clemson at Clemson. That Clemson team is abysmal. I mean, they are so bad.
Here's the question for you. I agree, but I want to ask you this because I'm kind of putting you on the spot. And I'm not being mean. I'm just asking because this is something to think about.
I don't care.
Well, this kind of adds to the point I've been making. Is that Clemson team that we watched yesterday the same Clemson team that LSU bought? Because I'm guessing the team was more bought in, the coaching staff was more bought in, going into a week 1 night game at home in quote unquote Death Valley against LSU than a team that was coming off a 1-2 start playing Syracuse at noon on a Saturday. That's another thing.
I agree with your sentiment. That's actually what I thought about yesterday. I just think Clemson's really bad. I really put thought into your question before.
No, that's great. That's what I want you to do. I wanted an honest answer because I'm not asking to try to embarrass you. I'm asking because I just really want to know what you think, and I kind of want to hear everybody's thought on that.
They were more bought in. They were more bought in, but they're not good anyway. It doesn't matter.
They can't run the ball, right?
Now they've just quit.
Right.
If nobody saw that yesterday, they weren't trying on defense.
My God.
I mean, for God's sake, Steve Angeli got hurt, and they still gave up a touchdown that cost them.
But on that one, in their defense, that was pretty good coverage on that play. It was just a really well thrown back shoulder.
Yeah.
But before that, Syracuse had dudes running wide open. I mean, underneath crossers, post corners, everything was available for Syracuse for the until Angeli got hurt.
I mean, that's been par for Clemson for a year and a half now. That Clemson defense last year with all these same NFL guys was awful.
Yep.
It some of the lowest tackling grades in the country. They were routinely giving up 7 yards per carry to teams that couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
Clemson is 6-5 or 5-5 in its last 10 games or something. It's a very average football team. People thought just because they were getting Tom Allen and he was going to turn around and fix all that stuff. Because they're just not good, and now they're checked out on top of it.
Right.
They're a shitty football.
It's because their coach. They figured out their coach has been a total fraud for the last 4 or 5 years. Total fraud. That guy is stealing money.
Are you saying
they're not bought into anything he's saying at all? They're completely not bought into it. They're not going to do anything. They're what Florida State was last year.
Yeah.
Real good likelihood.
And according to Davo yesterday, they could go 6-6 this season.
Bro, they could go a lot worse than that. That's the right.
Not my words, Davo's words yesterday.
When I was saying bro, I was saying Dabo's who I was talking to. Dabo, I think you're going to be lucky to go 6-6 now, Mr. Swinney.
He's lacking on his self-evaluation skills, no doubt.
Yes.
They're lucky they got a bye week this week. If they had to go play Boston College this week, they would get beat.
Yeah.
Hey, Boston College's quarterback
can play.
I mean, he's down at Florida State, and they brought in a guy who can flat out play.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be an NFL player. Yeah, longer than Alabama wanted him mad. He's a player. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask Lee a question? I'm being sincere here, and again, as Rusty said earlier, caveat, not trying to spark it. Do you think where are you now on your Arch Manning train?
I think he's just in his own head. I think his confidence issues have affected his mechanics.
Yeah. Do you think his fake tough guy stuff yesterday is going to get him back on track? I'm not making a joke.
Whatever they can do to get him back in a right headspace, because I think it's all those mechanical issues. I don't think it's injury. I think it's just mental. It's just lack of confidence affects his mechanics, and I think it's all that stuff. It's really tough to fix during the season, but the fact that Texas defense is still the best unit in the SEC. It's regardless of how bad that offense is, their defense is still better than any other single unit in the entire league, and that's going to carry them. So, they don't need him to be Superman and world beaters. If he can just be decent in the league, they'll be fine.
But carry them to what? Playoff or?
like the SEC championship game.
Yeah, go
like playoffs. Like, yeah, I mean,
there's
that game. Like, you can't. That defense is elite.
Yeah.
So you're taking them to beat Georgia in Athens, then?
No, they don't even have to do that. All they got to do is go 11-1, and then 11-1 for them. If you look at their schedule, should be easy. 11-1 should be easy for them.
You mean 10-2?
No, I mean 11-1. It's Georgia. That's all they got, really. They got Oklahoma on a neutral field. A&M at home.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably lean Georgia's way just because, I mean, Georgia beat them twice last year. It feels like, I don't know, Kirby kind of has Sark's number a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, that's going to be a really good game. Like, I think, like I said, that Texas defense is going to keep them in that game regardless. Like, it's going to come down at the end. Like, you can't score on that defense.
I keep trying to tell everybody, it was embarrassing the way Arch played at Ohio State, yes, but they outgained that Ohio State team in Columbus by 100 yards.
Yeah, it's just because Texas defense. You can't. It's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
It's insane.
They're gonna go 10-2 without blinking an eye, is my guess. An 11-1 is pretty likely, and that could be Arch still playing the way he is right now. I mean, if he figures it out in week 9, they could be like Ohio State the way Will Howard figured it out and Chip Kelly figured it out late in the season. You mean it's college football, but a whole bunch of other teams could too, Bobby. I mean, there's a bunch of teams that.
Incredible if Tennessee could get 4 of their 8 best players on defense back. That'd be real fun.
That would be I mean, I think Gibson's out for the year, but if you can get McCoy,
Gibson is out for the year. But even if he were returned, I'm not sure they're taking Colton Hood out. He is phenomenal.
Right? Oh no, but they're. I mean, yeah, you're right. They might not. Well, you can rotate.
Yeah.
But if you can get McCoy, Hobbs, and Moy all back, you stunningly increase the effectiveness of your defense.
Can I give you insider trading from yesterday, Rusty? I don't think I told you this last night. Moy would have played yesterday if it was a game of consequence. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And Hobbs is going to be available at Mississippi State too.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play, but I'll bet a sizable number that Moy will not only play but significantly next weekend.
David Sanders is still not allowed to take any contact in practice. He's practicing, but there's no
damage is no joke, man.
Yep.
That's going to derail that kid's career, and I hate that for him because he seems like he does all the right things too.
And well, it could be one thing that he just needs non-contact for like 8 weeks. You never know.
Is it shoulder or back? I've heard both.
It's neck.
Oh, neck? Well, then, yeah, his season's done. They might as well redshirt him.
Well, a red shirt's a waste on a guy that's that good. Once he gets healthy and he's eligible for the draft, you would think he's going. So a red shirt.
I've had nerve damage in my back. I'm not 20 years old, but I've had nerve damage in my back for the last 8 months, and it still flares up.
Yeah.
Almost dead.
So, I'm with you. No. Tennessee's absolutely a team that can get hot, Bobby. Or not get hot, but be there in the end and playing for big stuff that matters.
Yeah.
Oklahoma could too. Oklahoma could figure out their run game and it take off.
You may be right, but I don't think they have any players. That's the difference. I think Tennessee has players. I don't think Oklahoma has a running back.
Oklahoma's got good running backs, not great.
Their offensive line is not good.
That's the problem. It's O-line more than running backs. They got okay receivers. They got several really good dudes on defense. They don't have a ton. But my point is they could be there. Ty Simpson could prove me wrong and play in a game where he gets pressure and he still succeeds. I haven't seen that yet. I've only seen him look like Ken Dorsey, which is I'm a really good quarterback because I haven't been sacked for 24 games in a row.
Yeah.
But Ty may figure it out and start being like, pressure doesn't affect me anymore, and I'm the same guy when there's a free runner in my face. Who knows?
Hey, Lee, you doubled down, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just asking. You doubled down on Simpson a couple of weeks ago. Are you still in that camp as well? Because I just don't see it.
Simpson? My model take on Simpson was that their ceiling with Simpson was 10-2 and make
Yeah,
the playoffs.
that's probably-
Everything went right. That's it. My whole thing with them is that if they wanted to go to, they wanted to be better and like actually compete for a national title, they probably needed to go to Russell. I still kind of think that. Like, I think Simpson is good. I think he's accurate. I think he can
Mariota.
But the hard teams on that schedule, I'm not sure. I'm still not sold on Simpson.
Right. That's my point. I totally agree because when teams are able to get to him, his feet get happy and he does not see the field. His eyes go down whenever there's pressure.
Any panic.
But yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's really funny because that's exactly what he did in high school as well.
Well, and here's the other thing. In high school, he was so much better of an athlete. He could just pressure comes. I can go do whatever and be successful. And I don't think that works in college very often.
Are you saying West Tennessee 2A high school football doesn't have enough athletes, Rusty? Is that what you're trying to explain to us here?
I am saying that unequivocally.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
The other side of that is I think they're still probably better off with him than going with the Russell kid because of the youth. I mean, hey, the other kid, I feel like in today's college football, youth at quarterback, youth at quarterback, not a good idea.
Yeah. Speaking of, I said that we've wasted the run-up games. I want to ask this, guys. I'm very limited today. Thank you so much for giving me the floor so much, Rusty. I appreciate it.
Did I have a choice?
I mean,
No.
did we really
I love you,
have
buddy.
choice?
No, you really didn't, Josh. So
Love you, man.
anyway, somebody's actually got to steer us in the direction, right, Rusty? So
Hey, I can take us right into that damn iceberg.
Okay, well, here's the deal. Yesterday, we saw Merklinger against a very bad defense be very, very bad. If you have a game on the line, you were talking about youth at quarterback. If you have a game on the line and you can win it, and Joey's got to go out for some obscure reason, and I'm not going to wish anything on him, so I'm not going to say it, but he's got to go out for some obscure reason. You know, he's got a test tomorrow, Josh Dobbs.
Is it multiple? Is it like
playing quarterback for us to win that game?
is it like I need a quarterback to play like 10, 12, 15 plays, or do I need a quarterback to play one
No,
play?
I need a quarterback to go win me a football game.
Yeah,
You know,
like
now it may be tied or we're up or even slightly behind.
he got.
Merklinger ain't doing
Okay,
it.
I'll give you the scenario. He gets the Bobby Hurley in the Final Four game where he kept having to run to the locker room the whole first half. Joey has that in the fourth quarter of an important game. If anybody remembers what was going on there,
Bad sushi, right?
bad sushi. So Joey has that in the fourth quarter going on. Yeah, you got it. I would be shocked if it's not George.
I mean, Merklinger is beyond limited into he is not good.
He has a lot of the Ty Simpson syndrome right now. He does not see the field at all when there's pressure.
He made one great throw yesterday against their third team defense.
Yeah, and he
It was
made
a great throw, and it was dropped, to be fair. But he doesn't have it. And
He
I
missed-
don't want to
he
do-
missed
I
the
don't
damn
want to be
easy-
great, but
he missed an easy touchdown for the cover at the end of the game yesterday.
Is that the one they threw to the little white kid?
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty good throw.
No, he threw it way too. The kid was wide open. He could have punted it to him or drop kicked it to him, and it should have been a catch. He threw a laser beam that the kid had to lay out for, as opposed to just floating it to the end zone and the kid catching it standing still. It was a terrible throw.
And I'm about to hop off here. Rusty, have we seen a throw from a Tennessee quarterback as good as the one over Mike Matthews' shoulder yesterday? I thought it was a great throw, and I thought it was a better catch.
The catch was really, really great. I thought the throw was a little bit on the wrong shoulder of Mike. Honestly, I mean, I thought he was throwing an incredible touch.
It was just a moon ball. It was just a moon ball. You
No.
know better. That's
No.
all he throws is moon balls.
I'm talking. I know what you're doing, and I agree. I thought it was thrown exactly the right distance because Mike caught it perfectly. I just thought his left to right was a little bit off. But that's
that may be fair, but I thought it was a really good throw. Even though it's just a moon ball, it's all he throws, Rusty. Just moon balls.
All right.
Yeah, I loved it. Somebody decided to weigh in on the interception. Said, man, he just had an interception against the worst defense they're going to play. I'm like, you didn't watch the game, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, how much more does he have to hit his wide receiver in the chest for that ball to not be intercepted?
Well, I'm not going to blame Brazil either. There was clear pass
No.
interference on the play.
No, without a doubt. But still, The ball was intercepted when it carried them 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And let their entire defense run under it. So, guys, I'm going to jump. Rusty, thanks for the time. I am more encouraged that Tennessee is a little better off than I thought because I do think Oklahoma winning that game actually helped Tennessee last night.
It does.
It's going to help their record. It's going to hurt Auburn because Auburn's schedule isn't exactly a murderer's row, and Oklahoma's is. The team I'm now afraid of, and I hate to use that word, is Vanderbilt.
Before you go,
thanks.
Bobby, before you go, I wanted to talk about the sneaking a player off the field whole Oklahoma. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think there's anything that should be disallowed about it. I think Oklahoma had to.
I agree.
See, I don't think it's against the rules, but somebody or the SEC did say it broke a rule, which I don't agree with. The player went and stood by the sideline. He didn't go out of bounds. They didn't run another player on the field. It's on that's on Auburn to recognize he didn't leave the field. We still have to have somebody out there accounting for him.
Yeah, well, they won't be able to do it again. Again, the SEC said that he broke a rule.
I know.
If he broke a rule, then they did it wrong and they got the call wrong. If he did not, I don't have a problem with it not being that way. You've got to man a man and keep your eyes on him the whole time.
Yeah.
And by the way, I know they're going to be looking for it. Tennessee ought to damn do that. The way we run outside the hashes, we should do that more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read the rule and I can't get it. I can't understand how they came up with a player is not allowed to go stand on the sideline without going out of bounds, and he's breaking a rule. He's still in formation. He's inside the 53-yard width, and he's not across the line of scrimmage. That's not on him. That's on the defense. I just don't get how that's breaking a rule.
I don't disagree, but the SEC admitted to getting it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Their own rules, not mine and yours.
No.
So if they admitted to getting it wrong, they cost them 14 points, man. I mean, that fumble recovery touchdown is about the worst overturn I've ever seen.
See, I think it's incomplete pass. I don't know that I would overturn it, but I did think it was an incomplete pass.
Either way, Tennessee got the result they needed out of that game.
They did.
They need Oklahoma to have as many wins as they can when they come in here.
Of course.
Because they're going to probably be the best team we play from here to the rest of the year. I'm just not sold on Alabama. Alabama will be the hardest game to win, but they're not the best team we'll play.
Yeah.
And I think Vanderbilt right now is just about as good as anybody out there. I really mean that. I'm glad we catch Vandy and Oklahoma at home.
Yeah. I was wanting Auburn to win all day long. But I didn't think Auburn really got that screwed by the refs. I thought having Jackson Arnold drop back and go through reads was completely stupid as many times as they did. Enough to get sacked 10 times. That's on the coaches not committing to the run, not just telling him just throw back shoulders or deep shots to 8 over and over and over again. I thought they didn't help him very much, but I have no problem with that play, and I think the fumble return for a touchdown was probably an incomplete pass. I don't think he took 2 steps and made a football move, whatever a football move is. And you're right.
I mean, we can disagree on that and still be agreeable.
Of course.
Either way, that was a helpful thing for Tennessee.
Yep.
As much as I did want Auburn to win because
Same.
I'm sick of the John Mateer for Heisman.
Yeah, me too.
I'm over that.
What's your money line?
No, I agree. We need Oklahoma but I think Oklahoma's going to take so many lumps before they come to Knoxville. It's going to end up being a moot point. But anyway,
right, which is why we needed them to win yesterday.
At least that one,
a ranked win.
Yeah, I think they're going to still end up.
I don't think Auburn's as awful as you think they are. By the way,
Oh no, I don't think they're awful. Terrible. I don't think they're awful. I think they're well above average. I think they're pretty good. But you know what? Ohio State.
Who's better, them or Vanderbilt? In your opinion, sincerely, who's better, them or Vanderbilt right now? Them being Auburn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would say it's 5-5 on a neutral field, probably. Vandy. I might say Vandy 6. I might say Vandy 6 out of 4 or 6-4.
Just because Bobby is so dynamic, and he is. I hate it. I hate the guy. Can't stand him. Want him to lose every game. It's pretty dynamic.
I didn't know that until yesterday.
Which part?
That Star Thomas was on with the Diego at New Mexico State.
Oh yeah. Yep. And yeah, thanks, Bobby, for indulging me and staying on for that, because I just wanted to throw that one thing out there.
Man, I'm sorry. I did just get home and we're heading out for the day, but I want to get on here. Thanks everybody for listening and always being there. So very loyal fans, and we appreciate that. Probably fans of Rusty, not me, which is great.
Love you, buddy.
Well, last counterpoint here. I'm going to throw this, and then I'm just going to listen. All right.
Yep.
Looking at our schedule, as I said several times this week, I'm sure you heard, us and Ole Miss are the only two teams that play 3 or less currently ranked teams from here out in the SEC. That's obviously a huge advantage. Obviously, a huge advantage for us. In those 3 ranked games, Alabama, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, that's the current 3 teams we play. Do we win 2? Because if we do, and we don't have the Josh Heupel crap the bed on the road this weekend, or do something stupid and lose to Arkansas, who's awful, I mean, do we make the playoffs at 10-2 versus a whole bunch of other 10-2 teams? Because our schedule's pretty weak.
If we go,
schedule's actually pretty weak.
Bobby, if we go 10-2, we're a lock for the playoffs, regardless of what our schedule is.
If there's 9 10-2 teams,
outside of beating Georgia, the best thing that happened to you is losing to them in overtime.
Field goal. I don't think it's a lock, because there's too many other teams that are stacking like quality wins. They're putting like checks in their back pocket. They're going to be able to cash over. Tennessee doesn't have those. Like,
that's my biggest worry, Lee.
The offense, I mean, trust me, the offense is pretty, like, we're putting up points. But as of right now, we've got 3 wins over basically nobody's. You have to have Oklahoma and Vandy and Bama keep winning. So those wins mean something.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Right now, beating Florida isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, nobody.
Here's one more counterpoint, guys. I want to give a team. I want to give a specific team that I'm worried about. Okay?
Go ahead, man.
I mean, Kirk Herbstreit thinks they're going 10-2 after starting 0-2. Us versus Notre Dame, both 10-2. Who's in the playoffs?
Us.
They're going to pick Notre Dame.
Us.
They would put Notre Dame in.
They're going to pick Notre Dame.
Tell me who Notre Dame's going to have beaten at
Doesn't
that
matter.
point.
Just because of their name, Notre Dame.
Matter.
Just because of the name.
They could beat a pile of us on the field, if you know what I mean, guys. Like, it doesn't matter. They're Notre Dame.
Okay.
Their name is going to carry them. That's what I believe.
I don't believe the AP polls deciding who wins a national championship anymore, and I don't believe I think we're past Notre Dame is going to get put in by this committee at 10-2, because they're going to have wins over USC, and that's it.
So you're a big Jerry Palm believer? The committee doesn't ever pick matchups. They don't ever want matchups made for TV.
I'm not sure either one of them actually would probably get in. Obviously, there's a lot of football to be played, but the problem with Notre Dame is they have the head-to-head loss to A&M. I think there's a real good shot A&M actually does finish 10-2. If A&M beat them head up on their home field, like, right, A&M's going to get in over Notre Dame. So A&M would have us at 10-2 would get in over Tennessee at 10-2. Like,
yeah.
One of them would.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. All these teams, like, that's what I'm saying, is all these teams like A&M that are stacking, like, putting wins in their back pocket that they're going to be able to pull out come selection time. Like, Tennessee doesn't have those yet. Like, that's why you've got to have, like Arkansas losing yesterday did not help. Like, you need everybody to be as good as possible. So these wins are actually worse.
Steve, and to that point, Lee, that's what I was going to say. Steve Angeli getting hurt yesterday hurts Tennessee.
It really
I think Syracuse could end up winning 7 or 8 games now.
Yeah.
They're not terrible. I thought they were awful. They're not terrible, and they can score.
The second half of their schedule is pretty brutal.
It's brutal.
They weren't going to win that many games.
It's brutal.
It's a really difficult schedule. Like, I still think even with Angeli, they were probably only winning 5, 6 if everything went right for them.
Yeah, that was my take. I thought 6 was their cap. Before yesterday, I thought 6 was their cap.
4 may be their cap, and if 4's their cap, doesn't help us a damn bit.
So I know.
Regardless, that win's not going to – I don't think it's going to do a whole lot for Tennessee anyway.
It's not. Definitely not whenever you lose that key. I mean, if they could have got to 8 wins, great.
Tennessee really needs Oklahoma and Vandy to keep winning.
To keep winning.
And then beat them, And really, honestly, they need Alabama to be in the top 10 when we get down there.
Bobby, my answer to that question my answer to that question is I'm still with Josh Pate. I think you're going to have a shitload of 9-3. I think you're going to end up with maybe one team in the SEC that's got 2 losses or less, and everybody else is going to have.
Y'all logic, that's going to be Texas, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, it's being sincere. I'm not making a joke. Like,
I could see Texas being 11-2 after the championship game, or 10-2. Georgia possibly, and I think everything after those two is probably going to have 3 losses, and I mean maybe one other like us, A&M, LSU, or Bama somehow gets through it all and has 2, but I don't think all will. I think you're going to have, maybe you get lucky and get one more. So I think there's a chance that 9-3 SEC teams. I think it's likely a 9-3 SEC teams in the playoff.
Nightmare scenario is we go to Florida and we only have 2 losses, and you know where I'm going. They fired me the week before, and I mean we've been joking about it for a year now, but maybe it's not the Bailey kid, whatever. I mean, that would be nightmare scenario. That would be pour gasoline on yourself and strike a match scenario for me.
What they say about karma?
If we get to go into Gainesville at 10-2, which means we beat everybody.
I think we would be 8-2 at that time because Vanderbilt's at home.
We've beaten everybody, and we've won one out of the 2 versus Oklahoma, Bama, and we're playing Harrison Bailey. If that's the scenario, I'll take it and be happy.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. We still got to deal with Mississippi State next week, and that Shapen kid's not terrible. Their defense is bad. They lost one of their defensive backs. Did you catch that yesterday, guys? They're one of their stud safety, the transfer from Old Dominion.
They're going to be down. They're going to be down a couple O linemen too for us.
Are they? I didn't see that. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. Love y'all. Be great.
See you, Bobby.
How much fun is it? I mean, I hope Wes Rucker's listening, because I'm enjoying watching his Arsenal team fight for just to get or fighting and scratching and clawing here at the end.
Are they getting big?
Yeah, they're down. We're into extra time, and really they're fighting for a draw. They're trying to get to just a draw right now. I mean, they're playing City, which is, I want this game to always be a draw because that's the best scenario for my team. But
did Liverpool play already this morning?
They played yesterday morning and won. They won late, as they beat Everton. Actually, they didn't win. They didn't win.
The great Matt Dixon is listening right now.
Dixie. So
Arsenal taught it.
Did they?
Yep.
Is he offsides? Because I'm watching it right now. What a chip.
They'll probably review it, I'm sure, but
Martinelli with a great. This is what I want. I want 4.5 more minutes of the game staying the way it is. Lee, should that play be illegal? What Oklahoma did, if it broke a rule, that's terrible. If that's an illegal play, because there's no reason that should be illegal.
I mean, they said it's like unsportsmanlike, which, I mean, you can make an argument, I guess. Like, technically, yeah, I guess it's legal, but I don't know.
Is it, in that case, play action fakes are unsportsmanlike, because I'm tricking the defense that I'm trying to run, and then I'm going to throw a pass. If trying to trick the defense is unsportsmanlike, then my God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's a reason why teams don't really do it. I think most of it's just like between coaches. Like, you're not going to do that to another coach, really. Like, and if you do it, you're going to kind of like, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
And you can only do it.
I guess technically, yeah, it's legal, but it seems like it would be. But would I do it? No.
No, it's Bush. It's total Bush league, but it's not illegal. Is what I'm saying. I think it's weak sauce. And that's hilarious me using that term.
You know what was Bush League yesterday? That UAB guy stepping on Gilbert's foot.
So I don't know if anybody realized, but I went back and watched it more. He tried to step on Ross's foot first.
Yep. And
then he did get Gilbert's. And I'm sorry, that should be an ejectionable offense.
Yeah.
Because if throwing a punch at somebody wearing a helmet gets you ejected, that's not going to hurt anybody, then trying to step on somebody's foot and possibly breaking a metacarpal, I don't know if that's one of your foot bones, but I think it is. If doing that, that's way riskier and way more damaging to somebody than swatting at their face mask with a closed fist. And all that's going to do is hurt you. So how is that kid not ejected? And
Yeah.
I'm sure Dilfer's going to handle it. He was apologizing to Josh profusely in the handshake. So, but I don't for the life of me get how they didn't eject him. Not that it was going to make a difference in the ball game or change anything else, but I just don't. I don't get it. Best play of the game yesterday by the Tennessee offense. Let's ask. Anybody go around the table. Best play of the day by the Tennessee offense.
My best play was the first drive of the game, the Joey throw to Chris in the end zone left side.
We faked a bubble and then released.
Yep.
We faked the bubble and then released Brazel, who was the blocker on like not a slant but an angle towards the goalpost, just straight away, and then released Staley down behind him down the sideline like he's running to go. Love that play design. That's a good one. That's a good one, Joshy.
And my honorable mention is the pitch to Peyton Lewis.
The shovel pass.
Yeah, the shovel pass before halftime.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't run a successful shovel pass since we ran 2 in the NC State game last year, and they both worked. And we hadn't, and since then we had ran them, and they got tackled for a loss every time.
That was the option. The shovel pass was to start Thomas.
That's your pick?
No, I'm saying you said the shovel pass. He said Peyton Lewis.
Oh yeah,
Peyton Lewis was the option pick, showing like 3rd and short. The shovel pass was to start Thomas.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
it two Peyton Lewis? Oh, the option pass.
The touchdown to Brazel was the exact same play we ran against Syracuse. It should also have been a touchdown, but Brazel dropped the ball that hit him right in the numbers.
Yeah, it's the same play. We just did it from a wide split yesterday, as opposed to it was from our receivers on the hash. It was you're right. It's the exact same concept. It was just I haven't seen us do that when we were split wide before.
We just keep putting
more on tape.
We just keep putting more on tape for teams to have to prepare for. The option of that shovel pass. The option 2 years ago with Joe was a staple of the offense, and then the shovel pass last year with Sampson was a staple of the offense, and now you're adding that to what you've already shown on tape. I'm just really impressed. I don't know how the season goes the rest of the way. I think we're pretty good. I'm just really impressed of the adaptation of what we've done offensively. We put so much on film for teams to prepare for, and we stress defenses so much now with the different formations and the different things we do. I love watching our offense right now because it's so much better than what we saw the past 2 seasons. It literally seems like we're back to 2022 again. Just the diversity in formations, the diversity in tempo, just everything is just beautiful right now. And outside, we played Georgia, Oklahoma's, I think, is a really good defense. Alabama's a really good defense. Outside of those two, who do we have left that worries you defensively? Nobody in my mind. I'm not kicked up with Vanderbilt. I know they're good offensively. I don't know how good they are defensively, but we should be putting up PlayStation top numbers for a few more games this season.
Yeah, I agree. Vandy's pretty good on defense, but I still think
Florida's defense is still freaking nasty.
They're
playing really hard for Roberts. That dude is good. But there's only for so long they're going to keep doing it before they check out and say this is it.
Yeah,
or by the time we get them, they may not even care. But that Florida's defense is still damn good. That's a nasty unit.
Oh, they've been pretty good. I agree. I think that's a good point. The question is, coach fired. Are guys even on the roster at the time we play them that are playing a lot? Or are they already talking to other teams? There's all that stuff.
There's no telling. Freaking Lagway might redshirt. Right?
Oh, yeah.
If you're him, just go ahead and save your season. You're clearly you got no reps with your team in the spring. The offense sucks as it is anyway. Even if you did get a reps, the offense isn't any good anyway. I don't know. There's so much that could happen with that team.
Yep.
It's unlikely they're going to be very much. By the time we play them, doesn't mean it's an easy win by any means. But, that defense, though, is still, ridiculously good. They're keeping them in games, and they're just – at the end of games, they don't have anything left.
And they're playing 1,000 snaps. No, I do agree. That would be probably the 3rd best defense we're left to play, Joshy, or J-Mo. I do think Vandy's defense is pretty good, but in Neyland, too many athletes, we're going to score a ton.
maybe Oklahoma could give you a struggle.
Oklahoma and Bama's defenses are Oklahoma and
Yeah.
Bama's defenses. That's for sure. I think they're far and away the best two defenses we're going to play today. Florida, if we played tomorrow, probably is equal with both of those. Or if we played them 2 weeks ago, or in Georgia, if we swapped them to where Georgia's spot was, Florida's defense was really good. They won't be by the time we play them.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel that the way, like Bama obviously has a lot of talent on defense, but I just feel like the way Womack calls his defense plays into Heupel's play calling to where we're going to be able to put points up on them. Like ever since, and you and I've talked about this, but ever since I saw Brooks Austin break down Bama's defense last year, especially after the Alabama game, if he's still calling the defense the same way, I mean, we saw last year when we played them here how many guys we had to run wide open. We should have put 24-30 on them easily.
Well, I mean, we don't know. We have no idea if Bama's defense is good at this point or not either. They still only played Florida State.
Yeah.
That Wisconsin team got drugged by Maryland yesterday. That's not a good team.
We've played in Tuscaloosa. We've been in that game in the fourth quarter with a chance to win it. So it's not like
we have.
A place that's just a house of horrors. I mean, especially
2021 and 2023.
Yeah, we've played really, really well down there for some reason.
J-Mo, back to yesterday and enjoying everything we're putting on film like you were talking about. Did you find it ironic, funny, strange, whatever adjective you want to use? Or did you think it was a planned, let's play offense this way? We were about 90% back to wide splits yesterday. We were so far and away more in our last year's split type offense than we have been the first 3 weeks. Was that just by design? We're playing UAB. We don't need to work on any of the other stuff. We're going back to just running that stuff, and we'll go back when we get into games that matter again to mixing up the formations a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's 100% it. I noticed that too whenever we played ETSU. Like we played Syracuse and we showed a bunch of new stuff on tape. And then when we got to the ETSU game, it was like 90 to 95% back to the beer and shoot wide splits. And then you get to Georgia and it's back to different formations, different stuff. And then again yesterday, like you said, it's back to. I just think he knows that we out-athlete those type of schools, that we can just line up and run the base offense.
Yeah.
And put up a bunch of points. And he don't want to waste anything against those type of schools that may still be in the playbook. I'm sure there's still stuff. But we showed stuff against Georgia that we hadn't shown against Syracuse. And I'm sure there's still more stuff in the playbook that we're going to show against Mississippi State that we didn't show against anybody else.
Of course.
And that, to me, also goes back to the difference in the offense this year compared to the last 2 years. I mean, I said it for a long time, especially in 21-22. Those 2 years, it felt like each week you added another layer to the offense. You showed something that you hadn't shown all the way. Every week, you showed something new. In the last 2 years, I didn't feel that way. I felt like it was just the same stuff over and over and over. But now, especially Syracuse and Georgia, I kind of have this feeling that it's back to here's something new each week that we've not even shown yet. That's going to surprise somebody.
For sure. J-Mo, this is the simplest example to your point right here. We still haven't ran a single running play out of pistol besides stretch. That's all we've done out of pistol. We haven't ran counter. We haven't run gap. We haven't run trap. We have done nothing out of pistol except stretch. So you would think we're going to get into a game, we're going to go pistol, and we're going to run counter off of it, and we're going to gash somebody with it.
Well, that's like, that was a point that was brought up after the Syracuse game, is that when we did show pistol, it was all stretch. It was all outside.
Same thing yesterday.
But then you got into the Georgia game, and we lined up in that, and we ran a couple of play-action plays off of it and hit some big passing plays.
Oh, yeah, pass plays, there's stuff there.
So, I'll be completely honest, and you know this because you and I have been texting all summer. Like, Aguilar is better than I thought he was. I mean, he's better than I thought he was. I really thought he was coming here to be a turnover machine and just going to be throwing the ball in trouble and trying to make stuff happen. And he's better than – I mean, I'm not saying he's this good, but through 4 games, he's playing like Hendon Hooker played in 2022. That's how this offense is moving the ball and how – I mean, we're hitting – I looked this up yesterday And we've already had 16 drives to score a touchdown that lasted 7 or less plays. And I would be very curious to see how many drives we had all of last year that lasted 7 or less plays, because it felt like every game, every drive was 8, 9, 10, 12, having to drive the ball down the field to score. And it just, the explosiveness is back in this offense again.
J-Mo.
We've already hit 6 passing plays of 30 yards or more. We had 13 all of last year.
J-Mo, statistically, through 4 games, this offense is as good or better than the 22 offense was. And the schedule has been exactly the same as that year, basically, as far as the competition we played through the first 4 games. Except most would say Georgia, we played this year. Florida's who we played in the first 4 games that year. And this Georgia team's probably a little bit better than that Florida team. We're statistically better this year. So, yes, you're right. Well, I mean, I was telling you all summer, this kid's skill set can flourish in this offense.
I think we really need to start looking at what are we scouting in quarterbacks.
Here's what's going on, in my guess. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm so glad, because this is what I've been thinking about a lot and been wanting to bring it up. Josh Heupel was at UCF, where he went out and got the guys that he could get to come there, whether it was a Gabriel or guys like Gabriel that put up really good stuff on tape and were recruited, but not recruited at the highest level. And that meant he was going out and really studying their film and finding dudes that he knew fit what he does. That makes sense so far?
Yeah.
And then he came to Tennessee, where the guys he can go recruit is a much bigger pool, because you can get anybody to come play football at Tennessee. You just have, because you can get in front of them. At UCF, you can't get in the living room with a bunch of guys. At Tennessee, you can get into anybody's living room. And I believe what happened is the shiny 5 stars are who he got in front of, and there's less watching their film. It's more just everybody wants this kid because he's a supreme athlete and he's a 5-star, whether it's whether it's Jackson Arnold, whether it's Malachi Nelson, whether it's whoever was in that recruiting class or the recruiting class last year with George or the one with Merklinger. You're just in front of the guys and you're not evaluating their tape and who they actually are as a player as much as you're just evaluating their star rating. Because everybody else wants them, that must mean they're great. And I wonder if now Josh is going to start really, really diving back into, I need to go see the guys that I'm recruiting if they're guys that are going to fit, and I don't have to teach them to play football.
I know you're probably watching it right now, but Jalen McCullough just absolutely decapitated Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
I was still. My eyes weren't on that TV. My eyes were still watching highlights of City. I was watching City Arsenal highlights and trying to talk, which, you know.
They sent McCullough on a safety blitz, and Hurst never saw him coming, and he about took his head. I mean, full speed straight into his chest. It was nasty. No, I agree with you, which is also has me curious, and I don't think this is comparable at all, but makes me even more curious just to see what Faison Brandon looks like in this offense, because again, he's another one of those highly rated, highly talented guys. Now, I think he's going to fit the offense a lot better than Nico did or Joe Milton did.
Too early to tell for me, man. I need to see him on campus and see him play football. I'll tell you this much. I've watched enough of George to know, even in the limited, he has his eyes downfield and he's going through progressions. Even if it's against ETSU, that kid has the makeup to play football at a fairly high level. Does he put on? Can he put on the 30 pounds he needs to? I don't know that answer, but I know he can play from the pocket the way you want a quarterback to play football.
Which goes back to Roberto's point earlier in this, which is, and I saw somebody say this on a message board, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But why did we waste a half of getting Georgia Southern's quarterback ready and not our potential future quarterback ready? Because Merklinger is not going to be here after this season. He's just not.
I'll tell you. I know the answer. I know the answer.
Him go out there. McIntyre is clearly better.
I think I know the answer. We still have another gimme game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mexico State, yeah.
And my thought is, I can't swear to it, but this is JMO, not JMO, but just my opinion. If you have games like Bobby was talking about where you have to put somebody on the field once or twice this year for maybe 5-10 snaps while Joey goes to the tent or runs to the John, whatever the case may be, they're going to want George to play in those ball games. And then also maybe play in the New Mexico game. I felt like he can play 4 football games and still get a red shirt. I think they wanted to leave him optional for later in the season playing games and also still keeping his red shirt and possibly playing in a bowl game if we end up in the Citrus or the Outback. I think all those things are in there, and there wasn't really any reason to play him yesterday and waste one of his 4 games. And I think they really wanted to see Merklinger get more snaps, hoping he could start having a light bulb come on a little bit better, and maybe they have more options if catastrophe happened.
So I saw earlier in the week, and I've not dove into it to read about it or understand it. So you can probably help educate me on this. But I did see earlier in the week that apparently Pavia's lawyer, is trying to get another year of eligibility for him. Is that going to affect Aguilar potentially having another year? And if so, if you're Heupel, do you bring Aguilar back for another year? And and does that affect McIntyre, or does that affect his decision making?
No. Somehow I muted myself on YouTube. Sorry for anybody on YouTube. Somebody is going to eventually win that argument that you telling me I'm only allowed to play 4 years of college football is some kind of rule that should be, when it's arbitrary, when it's just a made up rule that somebody said, oh, this is how many years we should give college kids to play football. When now, if you're telling me I can't and I'm doing everything right, you're monetarily harming me. So somebody's going to win that eventually. Is it Joey? Is it Pavia? Is it Tom Jones out at New Mexico Central
Who knows?
Tech? I don't know.
Now, I also saw a lot yesterday that, and this is like Saban saying it and other guys saying it on game day, and just that the 5 for 5 is coming, like it's going to get passed, and probably sooner rather than later. Like I saw that a lot yesterday with some talk. If so, I'm pretty sure that also will now allow Star Thomas to come back for another year, because this is his 4th year.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to come back, then he could come back. And I'll say this, like I was a big fan of Peyton Lewis. He may be the 4th best running back on the team, because Dwayne Morris may be better than he is.
Yeah, I think right now he's definitely the third. He's definitely the 3rd best. He may end up being. You may be right. I think he has the best potential of the 4, and needs more carries to see that potential.
Yeah.
But right now, Janice completely right. Star Thomas needs to be
best running back on the team.
In games that matter. He needs the lion's share.
But what I was going to say to Jordan is, Peyton's problem is what Rusty said. He needs more carries. That's what he needs.
He's not seeing it.
He's not seeing it.
He's not being patient and let his blocks set up. He's not doing all the things. And the only way for some guys to get that is to play and run the football and run the football and run the football and lots of carries, which is why yesterday I kind of wanted Star and Bishop to basically get like 3 carries each and hardly play, and Peyton to get like 30, because I thought we don't need either one of those guys getting banged up against that joke of a team.
I love Bishop's story. I love everything about the story of Bishop, walk on from Carnes and then coming to Tennessee and putting in the work. But Star Thomas needs to be getting the first drive carries. He needs to be getting the bulk of the carries.
Yes.
There's a spot to use Bishop. There's a spot for Bishop. But Thomas just has a different it factor. He just has a different wiggle, a different speed, a different vision. Just everything about him.
Spatial awareness, every bit of it. You're right. Yes,
it gives the offense an extra punch.
Yep, no doubt. He absolutely does. It's really not even close. But I do think you're right, though. Bishop has good things too, but right now Star should be getting the vast majority when in a game that matters. Now, my favorite play yesterday was not the shovel pass. It was neither of the touchdown passes besides the shovel pass touchdown pass, and it wasn't the speed option. It was a Star Thomas run where he spun off. He was behind right tackle, and he spun because the guy had him dead in the hole, and he just left the guy flat-footed, and then he juked another guy and got in the end zone. And my second favorite play was watching whatever the freshman running back's name is, number 19. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out on number 19.
Dwayne Morris.
Thank you, Morris.
Oh, Morris, yeah.
His run that ended up being only like a 6-yard gain because it got called back for a hold on Mike Matthews. He put a juke move on the defender that was video game-esque juke move. Those 2 runs were beautiful. Loved them both. You're right though. We're back to the 3 plays after the sack fumble against Georgia. If Star Thomas was on the field, even after the false start or the illegal snap, whatever it was that put us in 1st and 15, the same 3 play calls, if it was Star Thomas, we get the first down. And we're going to move the chains and continue on trying to get 7 points instead of settling for 3. That, no offense to Bishop, but Star should have been out there. And then,
agreed.
And then while setting up the field goal to win the game, tied 38-all. Star got us into field goal range, and then we brought Bishop on for the last 3 plays. That unless Star was tapping his helmet, there's no reason for him to be coming off the field.
Rusty, I want to caveat to something like you were saying in the Georgia game. Do you think, and I know the left side is where Max likes it, but do you think
he likes it on the right?
On the right, yeah. But it was on the left side.
It was on the left.
Yeah. But do you think they should have just ran it up the middle to make it a just a straight shot for him to kick the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, my biggest problem with that end-of-game scenario, besides the false start on a play, Joey was diving to the middle of the field. Joey did dive to the middle of the field. He did exactly what he was planning on doing. The whistle just was blown because Sham flinched. My take is going ahead and sending the kicker out on the field with 7 seconds to go when you had 2 timeouts wasn't the right thing. After the false start, we should have taken a timeout, came to the sideline, told everybody do not jump off, and done the same exact thing and had Joey get to the middle and as far to the right hash as he could get, and then lay down, then call your last timeout with 2 seconds on the clock and kick it on 4th and whatever it would have been with 2 seconds to go, and the ball being where Paxton wanted it. That's what we should have done. But I think the fear was, in a moment of panic, oh shit, we false started. We just turned this into a longer field goal. What if we do it again and make it an even longer field goal? Because I can see where you wouldn't trust your guys. There's no reason to false start on a play where your quarterback's just diving to the middle of the field to get you in a better angle. You don't have to worry about climbing to a second defender to make a block. You're not trying to blow anybody off the line of scrimmage. There's no reason to be antsy. You just shadow box after the ball snapped and let Joey dive to the middle and lay down. So but I did not like that call. But moreover than that, number 9 should be on the field when it matters. Unless he's tapping his helmet saying I'm gassed. That's it. He should be out there when it matters.
They're not going to change though.
No, they're not. They're not. You're right.
Their whole thing is we're going to do this by committee.
Yep.
Like the offense is rolling well. Like inevitably, if your philosophy is this is going to be by committee, somebody's going to be better than the other one. Like,
of course.
Somebody's going to end up with better stats than the other one. So we all see it. We're like, well, why isn't this guy? Because this guy's got better stats. Like he looks like he's better. Why isn't he the number 1 guy?
Oh, Lee.
But they're never going to change it.
Lee, in 22-23, it was the same thing. We all knew Jabari Small should not be getting carries in 2022 nearly as much as Jalen Wright or Dylan Sampson, who was a freshman at the time. And Small was still the starter and getting equal carries to the other 2. You're right. Last year was the anomaly. This year is what they're going to do going forward almost always.
Yeah. And somebody's inevitably going to look better and have better stats, and that's going to be the person we kind of clamor for. But regardless, like I said, that's just the way that they're going to do this.
Oh yeah, they have their rotation, and they're gonna do it this way. And they felt like Starry broken off like 3 big runs on that last drive before missing the field goal, and they were like, we want Deshaun Bishop's inside strong running and fresh legs to come back on the field right now. That was their philosophy. I just don't agree with it, but you're right. It's not changing. I don't think there's a doubt that you're going to see equal carries.
Rusty, I don't know if you saw it yesterday during the game, but before Lewis scored the touchdown before halftime, me and Artie saw him come off the field, and he slammed his helmet down. Do you guys know possibly what that was about?
Okay, so I heard you mention that. I wanted to ask you a couple questions off of that.
Yes.
One is, why did he come off the field? Was it on that same drive, like a play or 2 before they did the speed option and he scored?
It was a play or 2 before on that drive. Yeah.
Had we called a timeout and everybody was coming off the field? Is that when it was?
No, it was after the play when he came out.
So I guess what I'm asking is, he subbed out for another running back and then he got back on the field for the option?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Okay, well then I'll go back and watch. I'm gonna go back and watch for that when I look at the film later this evening when I download the All-22. I'm guessing he had either missed an assignment and was being pulled, and he was mad about that, or he was mad at himself for missing the assignment, or he felt like he missed the right hole to run through, or didn't read the block correctly, or maybe it was a pass play and he felt like he was open for the ball to get the ball to on a dump down. It had to be something like that, and I'll answer that question for you later, but I wanted clarification on what exactly transpired. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because I had my eyes off on the play at the time because I was talking to Artie.
Okay, I got you. You saw that. I'll be able to see it with the wide angle shot, and I'll hopefully I can tell you.
Do you think, Rusty, if we win out, go undefeated in the SEC, would we go to Atlanta, or would we need a few?
No. If you're asking if we run the table from here on out and end up 11-1,
Yes.
mathematically we would basically have to be in Atlanta at that point. I guess there's a scenario where Georgia ends up 11-1 also and has the tiebreaker, and Texas goes 12-0. That would be like the only scenario where it could happen. It would have to be Georgia wins every other ball game except loses to Texas, and Texas goes 12-0. Then they would both play in Atlanta, and we would be third at 11-1. But I guess that.
But what I'm thinking
extremely
is
unlikely that we're 11-1.
Oh, go ahead. If somehow LSU goes undefeated, that's kind of what I was thinking. If we win out, LSU would have the advantage over us, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all mathematics. I mean, I guess there is a scenario where LSU goes 12-0 and Texas goes 12-0, and they had beaten. Texas would have beaten Georgia if that happens. They would have beaten A&M if that happens.
Right.
They would have beaten
Since
Oklahoma.
We don't play LSU this season.
They would have beaten Oklahoma, but I'm saying if we go 11-1, I don't see any scenarios where I don't think LSU is going to run the table. They were extremely LSU was so fortunate. LSU was so fortunate to win at Clemson and to beat Florida last week. I mean, if Florida had called nothing but run plays in that ball game and never thrown a pass, they may have won it. LSU's only reason for winning that ball game was Lagway gave them 5 picks, and one of them was a pick 6 in a game you lost by 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they're losing at Ole Miss next week anyways.
That'll be very well. This slate coming up this week, y'all, it's
loaded. Like I said in the group chat, I think it's the second best slate this year.
3 of the games that are this week they're coming up. 3 of the games coming up this next Saturday when we go to Mississippi State. At least 3 of those SEC games that are all matched up should have been this week, and they had spread out the wealth of the quality of these games. Not because this weekend was okay. Yeah. Next weekend is crazy loaded. Why can't you work the schedules out better to where Mississippi State and us should have played yesterday, and both of us be playing UAB, and I think they played – who'd they play yesterday? Grant.
Played Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois, yeah, thank you. Those games should have been flopped. Ole Miss and LSU could have played yesterday, and then you would still have like 4 other great matchups next week in the SEC alone.
Right.
So
I'm just glad we're on the road next week so we can watch all those good games.
Yeah. Well, J-Mo's going to be there in person, I believe. Correct, buddy?
That is correct.
Take your plugs, J-Mo.
And bring your own sawmill gravy after the game.
Not looking forward to the cowbells.
Just shut them up early.
Rusty, do you think Tennessee is going to do that this week? What I asked on Tony yesterday, the student or the coaches will have a cowbell in practice for preparation.
I don't. You need too many people to do cowbells. You know what I mean? You need way too many guys.
Right. Yeah, like Arizona State did it, and they had like 4 people.
Yeah, that doesn't work. What you got to do is you need to go. Yeah. They need to go in the indoor facility probably and bring in like 19 massive speakers and just get tape of cowbells and play them through the speakers to where it rings so loud and you can't hear yourself. Fair. That would be the solution to that.
What's the spread? Tennessee 10?
9.5, 10.5. I've seen both.
It's I'm seeing 10.5 on DraftKings right now.
Well, if Heupel does what he normally does, which is write up an amazing opening game script, then we should get up pretty early and silence them, hopefully.
And,
Yes.
and the truth is, it doesn't.
Is there,
We got false starts at home, as you know.
and this is not me being a
Pisses me
Tennessee
off.
homer, but is there a better coach in the country with writing the script up first drive of the game?
I wouldn't think so, J-Mo. I think Josh Heupel is the best.
I mean,
we've had
better
to score since 2021, and I may look this up just because I'm curious. But since he got here, we've had to have scored on the opening drive on what, 80% of the games?
Yeah. What would you say the record is for first score drive since he's been here?
I mean, we did go 3 first halves last year without scoring a point. We weren't, and then in 22, we were the first 4 games of that season. We struggled on the Pitt game and the Florida game. We were really bad to open those games offensively in 22 even.
Well, the Florida game in 22, you were driving down the field. Didn't you fumble the ball?
No, that was
you got into the red zone.
Yeah.
That was 24.
Last year.
No, I'm talking.
I'm pretty sure the same thing happened in 2022.
I think 2022 was the same thing.
It may have been. I that game's. I remember the long pass to Brew McCoy in the first quarter, in the early second quarter of that game, that he got caught on like the 5-yard line and we settled for 3 points. And it was. We had 3 points in that game late in the first half, but it may have been early. Josh is fantastic at it. There's a bunch of other guys that are really good with drawing up game scripts too. I don't think there's any. I'll say this: I don't think there's anybody better than him. There's other guys that are probably as good, but I don't think anybody's better.
2022, first drive of the game, 7 plays. We drove down to the 4-25, threw a pass to Princeton Fant that would have put the ball on the 12.
Oh, he got punched out. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember the play. Yep. Yeah, we got the ball like our 40 had good field position, I think.
Yep.
And Fant caught a slant, and that linebacker for them that was questionable, had missed a bunch of time, he come out of nowhere and punched the ball out. Yep, that's right. Yeah. No, but I'm with you. He's fantastic at it. I would say there's much more. I don't know if anybody knows the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it. How many stars did John Mateer have coming out of high school?
I want to say 2.
J-Mo?
I would say 3.
Josh, he's correct.
Wow.
Joey Aguilar had 0.
It's just so wild to me how we had this conversation. I know Lee chimed in too, like a month or so ago, maybe at the beginning of the season, about how bad 5-star quarterbacks the last handful of years have been, and all of the ones that have been good weren't very highly rated coming out of high school, or not very thought of coming out of high school. I mean,
the last one to win it all was Sunshine.
Trevor. Yeah.
This goes back to the question that we've talked about this plenty of time on these spaces, for a couple of years now. Even going back to the Hooker thing, it's like, what do you do? Like, do you put the time and resources in trying to recruit a 5-star quarterback and hoping he turns out, or do you actually go out there and try to consistently get just a veteran, experienced quarterback from another program and pay him a lot of money to come here? Because
yes, the second. I think you go get guys. I think you try to go get guys and at least have one of them on your roster that you've seen play a bunch of football at the collegiate level, and you've watched what their skill sets are, not the offense they play in, but their skill sets, and you try to figure out, does that fit my scheme, and can I make him a little bit better or as good as he is somewhere else? I think that's your best path to having good quarterback play in today's landscape, because you're not going to get many guys that stay on campus for 3 years behind another guy and really, really learn how to play the position right in a backup role. You're going to get superstars who want to play immediately, and they're not ready to process 9 out of 10 times.
And my memory's escaping me, so I'm just throwing this name out there because it's the first one that pops in my head. But is Caleb Williams the last 5-star quarterback to actually play like a 5-star in college?
I mean, Dante.
Just off the top of my head, right? DJ Ukulele was terrible.
Terrible.
Well, Nick's
terrible.
Nico's terrible.
Yep.
Arch is.
You can go down to Nico's class, and Dante Moore's playing pretty well on Warriors.
I was going to ask: Is Dante? Would you consider Dante Moore playing at an extremely high level? I think they haven't played anybody yet, and I think that off. And I don't know how good Dante's going to be in a game.
If
like
they go to Happy Valley Saturday.
Yeah, I wonder if he doesn't get swallowed up in that environment. That'll be an interesting to see. I mean, Lagway played really like a 5-star. But right now he's not.
Yeah. Then you look at the quarterback.
Lagway isn't. I don't think. Lagway is just like everybody else. All the other names you mentioned. He's never been coached up to play the position. Like he's athletic, but he's not good.
Right.
He's played like 12 college games. He's got like 11 touchdowns and like 16 interceptions.
Yeah.
Like he's every bit as dog shit as fucking Nico and everybody else.
Yeah.
Nobody just wants to say it. Like it's like you can't say anything bad about Lagway.
I know
he's not good. Like, and I know he's been injured and hasn't had time to practice. I mean, he looks like a guy that hasn't been on the field.
He does. Is he getting all that? Is he getting a pass because he plays for Napier? Is that?
Yes, but he's not good.
No.
Like he's never been good.
No.
Like I do think we write off. I don't think any of these kids are really being coached like at a good enough level. And when they get to college, they're just not ready, regardless of what the star rating is.
Yep.
And it takes them a while. Like I'm not writing off any of these quarterbacks that like have only had a year or two as 5 stars and haven't done anything. Like they can figure it out a year or two from now. Like,
yeah.
Like it can definitely happen.
Imagine this, Lee. John Mateer didn't go play a bunch of football games at a school who played a much easier schedule to where he could learn to play and learn to read defenses. Imagine if his first start on the road in college football was in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
Right, that's my point.
He plays on a team like even if he was on a different team that had to go to Oklahoma. Like no quarterback gone into Oklahoma the last 2 years and done anything.
Right.
Like no quarterback has.
Yep.
Like it's even Mateer. Like Mateer is like YOLO Superman ball. like he can't. He's incapable of playing within structure and inside the pocket. Like it's all improvisation. Like him scrambling, making plays, letting his nuts hang. Like that's what he does, and he's really good at it. But yeah, I mean, this is weird. Like you still have to have dudes to win. Like coaches are always going to go after like guys. Like you still got to have guys to win, and I don't think quarterback's any different. So these coaches are still going to go after these these prized possessions at quarterback. Like they're going to want them still. I just think you've got to invest in like figuring out. Okay, has this guy really been coached? Like, yeah, we know he's a 5-star, but has he really been coached to play the position?
You got to figure. You also got to figure out. I need to get the guy that has the best athleticism and arm talent possible. But while getting that, I need him to have mental capacity and accuracy as good as those other two things. Because
all around playing quarterback, they're just not good at it.
Oh no.
Like Dylan Raiola, he's just not good at it.
No.
And Lee looks like he's half-assing everything. I'm not saying he's not trying, but it's just the way it looks.
Cutcliffe used to say.
Oh, go ahead.
Cutcliffe used to say arm strength is like 7th on my priorities when I'm recruiting a quarterback. Number 1's accuracy, number 2 is mental capacity, and then there was like several other things. And he's like, then arm strength's way down here. So yeah, you're right.
Like in today's game, like look, like you can win at a very high level just being accurate. Just being able to know what you're looking at and just being accurate.
Dylan Gabriel. Like
Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Watch him play last night. Nobody's going to say this because again, this is like taboo or something. Carson Beck's arm is a freaking noodle, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. The kid, he has no zip on any passes.
No,
every ball floats out of his hand now. Like that injury killed him.
It's Danny. It looks like Danny Warfel. Yes.
Like it's insane how like There's nothing on the ball that he is nothing anymore. But he's accurate as all get out. He's like the most accurate passer in the country, and he can read a defense. So like he knows where to go with the ball. He does it to the wide open guy, and it doesn't matter that he doesn't have a strong arm. You know?
No, you're right.
So
Yeah. And Rusty, I know Lee was talking about Raiola. Guys, could you imagine how good Raiola would be in Josh Heupel's offense?
Right now, I think he would struggle mightily, man.
I think he would suck. I don't think he's good. I think he's like all these other guys right now that aren't any good.
And
I don't think
Right.
And he very well in 2 years from now, Josh, it may all come on for him. But that's what I'm saying about I think you're better off going and getting somebody that plays a bunch of college football and you can see on tape they've learned the process and they're accurate.
like good coaching. Like Dante Moore goes to Oregon with Will Stein, who knows how to coach quarterbacks. Like Dylan Raiola in Nebraska, there's nobody there to teach him how to play quarterback. And the Matt Rule stuff, I don't get the Matt Rule stuff. Matt Rule, go back and look every since you left Temple. Like he's like 0-15 versus ranked teams. Like Matt Rule hasn't been relevant in college football in a decade. Like he's not being coached. Like you take Dante Moore, you put him in Oregon, Will Stein, he's learning how to play football.
Since post Tom Osborne era in Nebraska, that's where quarterbacks go to die. Don't y'all agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think Crouch won a Heisman post Osborne, but it was still Osborne's program. It was still Osborne's program at that time. But yeah, I see your point. But yeah, the Matt Rule thing. I mean, Matt Rule got a lot of credit for what he did at Baylor, but they really didn't do anything while he didn't do anything while he was at Baylor. I mean, he won 10 ball games against nobody.
Yeah, he didn't never beat a ranked team there. Like he never did anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I said, I just think it's situations. Like most of these quarterbacks aren't really being coached at the high school level the way they used to be. They're just not ready for it.
And Rusty, like you said, you had a really good point the other day, like you were telling me. It all depends on where they go and if they're in a really good system or not.
I'm glad you brought it up because I'm gonna tell you right now, fit is so damn important. Because I'm gonna try to give advice out here, and I'm gonna bring up the name that I swear I don't bring up. But skill set and fitting somewhere, people don't like him. I get it. I know there's butthurt. Nico, your people out there need to listen to what I'm saying. Find some way to get your ass to Georgia Tech. You run the ball the way you did in that Ohio State game when Josh said, to hell with it, I'm going to run my quarterback and over. You can go do the same things, maybe not quite as good, but similar to Haynes King and be a very successful college quarterback playing in that system. You are similar to him. You run it really well. You throw it probably as well as he does because he's not a good passer, but everything's very easy because everything's based off of his running ability first. And you can do that. Now, Dad and handlers, it's not going to prepare you for the NFL. But guess what? That may be a pipe dream anyway. But you can go win a bunch of games in college football playing in that Georgia Tech style offense with your skill set. I've said my piece. You fit that.
Speaking of like offenses and offensive coordinators and all that, like you and I texted about this, Rusty, and I put it up the other day. I had no idea that Heupel had brought in Chaney as like an analyst. I mean, obviously, as the article said, he's a remote analyst. But just to me, like I give Heupel a shit ton of credit for being able to look in the mirror at the end of last season and understand and know something's got to change. And you go out and you bring in Seth Luttrell to help you out. You go out and you added Jim Chaney to just look at things for you. And, you clearly, I mean, Kelsey Popa said it, Halsley said it. You clearly adapted and you made changes.
Bro.
And I give him so much credit. Like, to me, that's just the signs of a great coach and just understanding things and knowing that you have, like, I'm not obviously comparing Heupel to Nick Saban coach-wise, but it's like, to me, like Saban, he was pro-style power football. Then he realized, oh, shit, this isn't going to work. I got to make a change. And he goes out and hires Kiffin, and he goes and gets Sarkisian, and he adapts and he evolves. To me, those things just show the ability of understanding where you're weak at, or understanding your, where you're not good, and being able to adapt and change, and being willing to accept that and being willing to change. And it made me buy into Heupel even more than what I was already bought into him as a coach. Just him doing what he did this past offseason.
Bro, the touchdown pass to Brazil, not either one of the deep balls against Georgia, the one where he is running the post in the back of the end zone behind the safety. Yeah. That is, I know Josh it's been talked about, offense doesn't translate to the NFL. It doesn't prepare you, blah, blah, blah. That is the by far highest level play design of scheming up a defense, not stretching them out and making them be in unfair advantages because of numbers. I'm talking about attacking their coverage with route combinations. That was high level NFL pro super high stuff. Nothing's comparable. So he is what he's done. It's not as drastic as Bear Bryant going out and learning the wishbone, but it's pretty high level that he's went out and added so much to the scheme to make the already scheme work better.
I'll give you a second play on top of that one. The Staley play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
The short crosser that turned into a wheel.
Yeah. Bend it north whenever bend it north whenever they think the route's going west. He bends it north at the end. That's a high level wrinkle that he added in.
I mean, you put that defender in a bind, because not only did Staley do that, but you also have Thomas
in the flat
coming out of the backfield, and he had to make a decision. If he took Staley, Thomas is running for 10 to 15. If he takes Thomas, it's a touchdown to Staley. It's just those small things. And you and I've had this discussion. We've texted, we've talked about this, but I've been very hard. I'm on the offense. Adapt. These players being able to adapt to the NFL because of what the offense was. I mean, you keep doing the things you're doing this year, that all goes out the window. Now you can show recruits, you can show guys, yeah, this stuff works in the NFL, because here's literally plays that we're using from the NFL. Like I tagged you earlier in the week on the play the Detroit Lions used. It was the exact same play that you're talking about that Brazil scored on. I mean, that's NFL plays being added into the Josh Heupel playbook.
Yep. Their staple of it's a little different. The way Matthews ran the crosser, they do a little something different generally, but it's basically the exact same.
Our guys on that formation, on the one for Heupel, our guys were already stacking a bunch.
Yeah.
On the Detroit Lions, they were split and they motioned into the stack, and I mean that's something that Heupel could use too. I mean, that's another thing that the NFL they do so well. Is they'll show you a formation and a concept. The concept will stay the same, but the formation will change.
Yeah.
And it still confuses defenses. That's something else that I want to see Heupel do is, okay, we're going to keep this concept of this play. We're going to show it in this formation. But then 2 weeks from now, we're going to keep the same concept, but the formation is going to look different.
Yep. Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, you want to have a bunch of stuff coming up soon. Like that play we're talking about, the touchdown to Brazil. You want to have a counter off of that looks very similar to that when we go to Alabama. Where Brazil runs the post, you want him to everything be the same except him go post corner. Everything about the play look exactly the same except you turn Brazil into a post corner because the safeties they were in cover 4. The outside guy responsible for that. For the wide side of the field where Brazil started out on, he's going to crash hard to the post to try to take that away. And if you post corner him, Brazil's going to be standing by himself by the pylon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back and watch the game from yesterday. Maybe I'm looking too much into this, but I will say one thing that I have seen that I feel like we can definitely work on offensively, and you'll watch it and you can tell me if you see the same. I felt like in the Syracuse game, our wide receivers did a really good job of blocking downfield. But I feel like the last 3 games, they have not been as good at blocking downfield.
Yeah.
There were plays that I saw yesterday that I felt like could have been a bigger game, but the receivers did absolutely nothing to get into the way a corner or safety coming into the play. And I want to go back and watch the All-22 from yesterday, and I noticed it in the Georgia game too, where I thought there were a couple of runs that we could have gained a few more yards on, but the receivers just weren't giving any effort. I mean, another one, you and I have already talked about this ad nauseum, but like the crosser to Staley where Brazil should have ran the guy off.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even try to block.
Yeah.
He just took 8 steps and then just stood there.
He just jogged like he wasn't part of the play, which he wasn't. But you got to sell it like and just sprint to the pylon. And there was a run that I think it was Starr that ended up down the right sideline going towards the north end zone yesterday, where if Brazil had been engaged from the snap with the corner, it was like a 50-yard touchdown run, and it ended up being like a 30-yard gain because Brazil had to like get on the corner when he realized Starr had broken it out into his area. And you're right. But, yeah, I do want to look at the film. I do feel like that 17 especially needs to be engaged on every play, not just plays where he's probably going to be like the second or first read.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I didn't want to single him out, but there's been a couple of plays where I'm like, man, you got to – I get it's not a call play for you, but you got to give a little bit more effort than just standing there and watching. Like,
no doubt.
It takes all 11.
No doubt. Lee, real quick, we got like later in the week to talk about next Saturday. So this is week 4 recap, but just early thoughts. I think Mississippi State's pretty bad on defense. Arizona State basically said we're not even going to throw the ball in the second half and ran it down their throats to take the lead. And then inexplicably played cover 0 when you have a 3-point lead from just outside of midfield or just inside of midfield. What's your thoughts on that game just outside right now looking in? What's the right side of that line?
I don't know about the line. I mean, I know it's like 9 or 10. I mean, Mississippi State, their run defense is pretty bad. Like, you should potentially be able to line up and just run the ball right at them for the most part and have success. The guys they added in the portal in their secondary are really good. They can actually play decent pass defense. I think they lost one of their safeties yesterday, so I have to look at that. That's probably a big deal for them. Offensively, Tennessee should be fine. Like, the run game should work just fine, I think. Like, you can probably go, you want to be able to go on the road and run the ball anyway. So I imagine that's the game plan. So just run the ball at them, and I think Mississippi State's you can probably wear them down.
And what I was able to watch yesterday, I didn't feel like Mississippi State. I didn't feel like their run game was as good as I expected it to be.
Yeah, I mean, their offense is like it hasn't really been consistent. At times, it looks really good, and like when they get it rolling, like they find a rhythm, and it's nice. Yeah. Like, that's kind of how it's been. It's like they haven't really had like a full 4 quarters, like really good football. Like, they struggled a little bit first half of yesterday, but in the second half they looked really damn good. Sort of like their opener against Southern Miss. Sort of the same thing. So, I mean, I think Tennessee should be fine. Like, just defensively, I'd probably just play an umbrella, keep everything in front of you, make them drive the field, don't give up any explosives.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Be all right.
Thank you, brother. Joshy. I'm pretty sure I know my number. I think I was 3-5 this week because
I'll get back to you. I haven't added the picks up yet.
All right. Okay. Well, you can tell us our results at the end of the week. I think I was 3-5 because of dumbass Nebraska. And
I think you were on Utah, right?
Yeah, well, that one wasn't close. There's like 3 or 4 that we picked that were like almost on the number, and then us giving up the backdoor cover, and then us, damn Merklinger trying to throw a laser beam to a walk-on who's wide open in the end zone and overthrows him. That would have cut. That would have.
Question I wanted to ask you, J-Mo and Lee, you can answer on this too, but
no, you can't.
I know it was our 3rd and 4th team defense, but what do you think about our defense giving up a couple late touchdowns in the 4th quarter?
Meaningless.
I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's the end of those games. Like, I'm not going to take anything from that. I'm really honestly, Josh, you're not going to take a whole lot from the game as it is anyway.
Yep.
Right. It is what it is, man. Like, I'm not trying to like downplay anything. It's just that, honestly, man, yesterday as a fan, like, I didn't give a crap about that game, and it sucks as a Tennessee fan. Like, I watched other games because they were better games. Like, I get tired of these gimme games. Right. So I don't take a whole lot from them, you know, at the end of the day. So I'm definitely not going to take a lot from the defense giving up. Third string defense giving up touchdowns.
Joshy.
What I'm meaning is, hold on, Rusty, let me talk. But what I'm meaning is, if we lose a few key starters on defense or later in the season, what if some of those guys have to come in? That's the meaning.
No, I mean, look, I mean, yeah, I mean, you've already, for the most part, Heupel's been done really well as far as injury luck goes this whole time here. Like, he's eventually going to have a season where he's going to have to work his way through a lot of injuries. That's football. And maybe that's this year on the defense. You know, I mean, I definitely have concerns about the defense. Like, right now, I'm not sure how really all that great it is. Like, I don't think it's very good, to be honest.
Without getting guys back, it's nowhere near last year.
I mean, I know the injuries and we want to get people back, but one, even if at full strength, it's not as good as it was last year. But even last year, when this team stepped up in competition, played the better teams that have played, they got lit the F up. Like, so yeah, I've got concerns about the defense, like even at full strength, because last year at full strength, when the games we needed to win against the teams that are at the tier we want to get to, that defense couldn't stop anybody. So, you know, this team's gonna have to outscore people. You need the defense to like make a couple havoc plays, force a couple turnovers, and that's what you want from this defense. I think that's best case scenario. I just don't see this defense as being like this lockdown like unit that's going to get you big stops.
Joshy, the reason I say that's meaningless, and you brought up, what if there's a couple injuries? Here's the thing about what matters in that situation. If you have to throw one of the corners that was on the field late in the ballgame on the play for like 6 snaps because somebody's hurt, he's still out there with 10 other guys that are normal players. It's when you're in that late game situation, you're playing a roster. 11 guys are on the field that are like third at best at their position. So that's not the same thing as having to sub in 1 or 2 guys into a position, but they're still getting Josephs and Herring and Ross and Bailey rushing the quarterback while they're in coverage.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the difference where this corner's out there with another walk-on rushing the quarterback and they're getting no pressure.
True.
And
it's a stupid question.
And it's not a stupid question. It's a legitimate question to ask because I heard a lot of people talking about it. So we need to address that question that people were like, oh my God, we were giving up all these open plays with our backups. Well, yeah, of course. First of all, those backups are seeing their first serious action against a former Power 5 recruit at quarterback who's still playing late in the ball game, who is a pretty good passer. And those guys, aren't as athletic yet, and they've never seen route concepts like they're seeing, and they're asked to do things coverage-wise. So first of all, they need to get more educated. And secondly, they're playing guys that are rushing the quarterback that aren't getting there the same. So I find it meaningless. But you asking the question makes perfect sense because there was a lot of people making a big fuss about it. And I'm telling you right now, UAB, ETSU, that state, whoever state we play later in the season, all those games are preseason NFL games. Lee is totally right. Lee is totally right.
Yeah.
I know you have to have them on your roster. You can't in college football play 12 real football games, but those games are literally, the spread doesn't matter. They shouldn't even have a spread in them when it's over 30 because it's pointless because you're just guessing of what's going to happen whenever you're playing a bunch of guys you've never seen play before in the walk-ons. And it's just practice. Like when the Seahawks play the Broncos week 2 of the preseason. You're just putting those games in the middle of the season is the only difference.
you had a ton of just true freshmen and true sophomores out there in the second half yesterday. I mean, Turretin only played like 41 snaps. Beasley played a bunch of snaps. He's a true sophomore. Like, I don't put a lot of stock into what the defense looked like in the second half because you're playing a lot of guys. Some of those guys, that was the first time even seeing the field. So some of those guys didn't even play in the ETSU game. So that's their first ever action, against another team actually playing offense against them.
I have a bit of a solution.
I would have been more concerned if Kentna and UAB were putting up points in the first half against the starters than I would be giving up something in the third and fourth quarter because, pretty much the entire second half, that was your second, third team units on defense.
That team's thrown the ball really well this year against its competition. It did not throw it at all well against us whenever we were like taking the game serious. It should have moved the ball through the air against our third stringers. I have a solution for these games though.
Okay.
The first 2 weeks of the season are the bye games across college football. Just make that a rule. Weeks 1 and 2, if you have to play ETSU or New Mexico or Wofford or whoever, all those games should be played weeks 1 and week 2. If you're Ohio State and you're doing your yearly play all the other little schools in the state of Ohio, those games are week 1, 2, and 3 if necessary, like it's a preseason. I know that makes week 1 uninteresting, but at least we finally say what it is. These 3 games are our warm-up games before the real season starts.
I'll tell you what I missed. I was going yesterday, I looked up a stat, and I went through a bunch of our old schedules from the late 90s and early 2000s. Now we play, in November, New Mexico State. I forgot, it was UTEP last year, year before that. It was some no-name school, whatever. There's always a pay game
in November. Yeah, we do it because it's an extra bye. I don't like it.
Used to, we would play Notre Dame, UCLA, or different, other Power 4 schools.
California.
I wish we would get back to that. I agree with you, Rusty. If we want to play 2 bye games, let's do it week 1, week 2. Use those as scrimmage work, but they actually count. That way you know what you have. Everybody can get prepared. Week 3, it turns up, and then everybody else the rest of the year is playing P4 opponents. We get into November, instead of playing New Mexico State, let's schedule something against the Cal. Let's schedule something against a Texas Tech.
Or Notre Dame.
Or whoever, and make the rest of the season extremely interesting. And I also agree, this is going to kind of turn into a different topic too, but kind of the same thing what we're talking about. I forgot what coach said it yesterday. It might have been Oregon's coach, Dan Lanning. But if we're going to have this new portal window be the beginning of January, how about we move the playoffs all the way up instead of having a 25-day off period? You have the conference championship games. The very next week, let's start the college football playoff, and let's have the national championship the weekend of January 1st.
I'm all for that.
Well, when we go to 16, it's going to push it back another week too, because but yeah, no, actually, it may not. I can't do the math in my head real quick. No, I'm fine with starting it as soon as possible. I wish college football could start mid-August. It's just too damn hot.
That's true.
Well, you could. I guess you could technically start it, but every game would have to, across college football, every game would have to start at 7 p.m. or later, and it would still be really hot a bunch of places. But yeah, the reason we used to not have bye games at the end of the season, where we've been mixing in a cupcake in November the last however many years, it's because there was a time where our November we were undefeated in it for 15 straight years, because it was Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and South Carolina, some combination of South Carolina, Ole Miss, or Vandy, Kentucky, and I'm missing somebody else that we used to
play Miss State a couple of times.
Yeah, we went years and years where we were undefeated in November, a long stretch, and now Saban put in he's going to play a cupcake before the Iron Bowl every year. The first part of fixing this is getting the 2 conference commissioners from the Big Ten and the SEC to get together and say, hey, nobody plays a conference game until you've played all your non-conference games. That's the first way to fix it. So now we're playing 9 games. So basically, Alabama, you can't play Georgia until you've played your 3 non-conference games. The entire schedule is built around that. Even if one of your non-conference is going to be a real game, if you play Wisconsin, quote unquote, real game, that game has to be played before you can play a non-conference. And you get those out before you can play a conference. Those games are out of the way, and then the real season starts.
I'm tired of them. This is just something we've talked about, but I'm just going to bring it up again real quick. I'm tired of the neutral site game too.
Oh,
I wish we'd do home and homes again. I miss I'm just using this as an example, but I also kind of love the and it wasn't even a rivalry, but it kind of did feel like one. Like, I miss playing Notre Dame home and home. I miss going to South Bend and seeing the orange and white play against Notre Dame. I miss Notre Dame coming to Knoxville and us playing them at home. That used to be really fun to watch. Same thing with UCLA. Like, I miss UCLA coming to Knoxville and us going to UCLA. Like, I get it's all about money, but, like, I would love to be able to travel and go to some of these road games. I mean, we did a home and home in Oregon a few years ago. Like, that stuff's fun, and it gets you to different places and different campuses, and the environments are amazing. And it just
non-conference games are going to be reducing that. You getting to see those more than they already are.
I hope we can just figure something out with the scheduling and the time of year and the 25 days off in December. And I mean, because it is, I mean, and this isn't even like a Tennessee thing, right? Like, it's, even like with Georgia and everybody last year. I mean, it's not fair or right that some of these schools are going to be in the middle of planning a college football game plan while also having kids come into their office and say, "Oh, by the way, coach, I'm going into the portal." Like, they should, like, these players and these coaches should be focusing on game planning, not worried about who they're actually going to have to even put in the game plan.
No, you're right. But not 9 conference games are going to, I'm afraid, turn into, you got to play, I think you have to play another Power 4 school outside of conference every year is the new rule, also with 9. But we're going to play Wake and we're going to play like Wake or somebody at a neutral site, or we're going to just play them just at home. And then our non-conference games are going to play 2 cupcakes. I think the 9 conference games are going to pretty much eliminate home and homes with Notre Dame or Michigan or UCLA or SC or whoever. I think are Oregon's that we've done in the past. And the truth is, the SEC being bullied into this 9-game thing, it's kind of not great because the Big Ten plays 9 games, but they have more teams, which means you still get somebody like Indiana who plays Oregon, Penn State, and then Illinois is their next toughest game. Whereas in the SEC with the 9-game schedule, you got, of your 9, 8 of them are going to be tough. But Sankey let the Big Ten bully him into the 9 games. JMO. Not JMO, just my opinion. All right, fellas. Wow, we eclipsed 2 hours. I'm going to let everybody get off here. Thanks, everybody, so much for jumping on. Do me a favor, if you're watching on YouTube, everybody out there, thank you guys for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you are. Doesn't cost a thing, and it helps out. And we'll be back live doing this Friday or Thursday night, and I will be sending out information on when we're going to be doing it and back actually really trying to break down Mississippi State and see what we're going to be facing with them. JMO is going to watch a bunch of footage on Mississippi State and try to have a better understanding, and he'll be reporting on that. He and I will probably rewatch a little bit of the film on UAB, but there's not a whole lot you can take away from it. But nevertheless, we'll be right back with you later this week. Thanks everybody for jumping on so much. Love you all. GBO. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.